What frustrates me is agents that are broke and don't work. It drives me bananas. If you're making money, I don't care if you make 4 dials.
Exactly.
My thing is if you're broke as shit, you have time to make $500 if you're not presenting all day. I'd rather you make $500 versus sit on your couch and complain. But I can give you a skill set to where you don't have to dial near that many times. What up, y'all? John Wetmore back with another episode of the Insurance Insiders podcast, here with Captain America, I think, right? Is that what that is in the background?
Don't tell anyone.
My dude, David Price. What's cooking, brother?
Not much, man. Just decided, another busy day of starting an IMO, right? So decided one day, get a little bored. You feel like, let me tear it all down and start all over again, right? So
let's get right into it. I like it, bro. Getting after it. I was like, you busy? Probably not. Probably got nothing going on over there. Starting fresh. New beginnings.
Yeah, new beginnings, man. I don't know, man. It's funny. It feels like the first week, but the first month, right? But it's different. You have a lot more knowledge now, right? Obviously, right? If you started all over again today, it would definitely look a lot more fun, right? Imagine getting to do it all over. It's like when you're like, man, I wish I could be reborn again with all the knowledge I have, right? It's like the same thing. Like, imagine I could start all over again, but with this knowledge, what I could do. So
and now you are.
I get a chance to be reborn. So what's the shirt say? Don't be a what?
You see
I like it. I like it.
Right there. For those that are watching, nice. You can get it on the site. It's our most requested shirt.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, dude. I have all these ones that are like, do more and get shit done. And I rolled out with this "Don't be a bitch" shirt, and bro, people love it.
It's so funny. I feel like
we had a PG version too because a couple people asked. So it's like I think we put like an explanation. I don't know what they did. I'm like, make the church version for a few people.
That's funny.
The original is legit.
I love it, man. You got shirts, you got a book, man. I mean, dude, it's just awesome watching you for real.
If you've been under a rock and haven't seen it,
it's it.
Getting after it.
I got mine. I got a copy of mine somewhere. Not only do I have them, my agents keep buying them, man. So that's cool, right? That's so they show me. So that's it.
Dude, I'm getting people from all kinds of companies buying them. It's wild seeing where it's like going. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. I didn't really have a lot of expectations. I was just like, I'm gonna do it. It's kind of been on my mind. People have asked. Dude, it's I get messaged every day. I sign some. If you order them on the website, for those that are watching, if you get them on johnwetmore.com, I actually sign every one of them, personalize them, and send them out. My office sends them out. If you get it on Amazon, they just send it, and it doesn't come with cool stuff. So, yeah, but yeah, I still sign them all and send them out. It's been fun, dude.
That's cool. I've been seeing a lot of them, man. Super happy, man. I love watching people win. There's so much so many people that fight in this industry, right? And it's funny because when I'm like, someone be like, yeah, guy John Whitmore, I was like, yeah, dude, that's my buddy. I call him all the time, dude. He always answers questions. I mean, he's been doing this a lot longer than me. He's a lot further down the road. So when I hit a speed bump, I gotta assume he hit it at some point. So I just call him up and ask him, hey, what you do when this happened, right? Not even has this ever happened to you? I don't have to ask you that. I already know it did.
Yeah.
But everyone else is, people want to fight and stuff, but there's no reason. Collaboration, man. Celebrate other people.
Some people are going to be pissed we're on this.
You think so? You're going to piss some people off?
People are pissed about everything, dude.
They just get pissed, right? They're pissed about the Captain America shield. You get pissed about the Captain America shield.
I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to help people win, bro. I just got off with right before this, and I don't know why we're sharing this because it's me and you are live, even though people watch it recorded. But I was just on with that dude Hank from SLS. He's a beast too. I like that cat.
Hank, I'm not familiar with that. Oh,
Henry
I
Stewart.
think I know who you're talking about now. Okay,
Stewart, yeah. We laughed about the same thing. So what do you do? It's a cool industry though, dude. And you've been killing it. I don't know how long you've been in the industry. Handful of years, right? 5-6 years.
2018, I got my insurance license, man. So 2018. Some people that have a lot of success, this would be my sixth full year.
How many of them you've been rich?
How many have been rich, right? So what's the definition of rich? That changes, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, my man.
So within 36 months of having my license, I was able to cumulatively deposit $1 million in my bank account. So that would have got me to like my third year. But then my fourth full year, that was actually my first 7-figure income year.
So you made more in year 4 than you did cumulative in 3, even though the 3 got you $1 million.
Basically, right? And then basically, I was, working with one carrier for my whole career up until recently. I decided to start my own IMO, add other carriers. Yeah. Still not quite sure what my relationship with them is yet because they just stopped paying me. But that's a whole nother podcast that we could do at a later time where I get some more information.
Yeah, figuring the game out, bro. It's all good.
But yeah, I made $5 million there. You know what I mean? $5 million in almost 6 years. So that's it's a win. People are going to talk a lot of shade, like, oh, I thought you said this, and I'm like, dude, I made $5 million in 6 years, man. So either way, it's a win.
Yeah.
So
no doubt, dude.
I think they owe me another $1 million.
You travel. You work out a lot. You got a lot of good stuff, dude. It's like,
dude, you work out a lot, bro.
I have to work out a lot.
You're hiking all the time. You're doing like you do anything with Jesse Ister before?
Yeah, that's what that hike is.
Oh, that was with Jesse?
I mean, not with him, like I'm holding his hand skipping up the mountain, but it's his company that I pay. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I'm interested in him, man. I it's funny because I ran 7 miles and change this morning, and I'm like, all right, cool. I think I'm almost at the point to hang out with Jesse now, because that.
Dude, you want to do something crazy with me? Will you do it?
Well, yeah, possibly.
Oh, you're stuttering.
50. So, I mean, there's a good possibility I will. There's a good possibility I will. What you got?
I can't tell you unless you say yes.
I'm in it.
You 100% in?
I mean, what's the dates? I just started a whole new
year. You're almost a year out.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, like end of next summer.
I don't have to swim, do I?
No, I don't swim.
Okay. All right, good. No. All right, I'm in it. Then.
So it's this registration is like in a couple weeks or something. I just did it this past year, but I didn't quite do what I wanted to accomplish. And for those that are watching, we will get to some actual insurance stuff. But for right now, me and him are just gonna chop it up.
This is way more interesting than insurance.
Yeah, I agree. So I did this 29029 is the thing that you're talking about. That's the hike. So you go to these mountains. There's different ones. I did Whistler, Canada, and you hike the mountain as many times as it takes to hit the equivalent of Mount Everest. That's what that 29029 is. That's the feet. Okay. That's how high Mount Everest is in like elevation. So that Whistler one is like, I think it's like 4,000 feet roughly. And you have to hike it 8 times. You got 36 hours to hike it 8 times. So I did 5 in the first 21 hours. And then I didn't finish the last 3 because I underprepared and turned into a soft, mushy bum. I just didn't finish. So
a soft, mushy bum after 25. I just feel like
it was a lot of hiking. It was 20, dude. I did 20.
I suck at hiking.
21 miles in 21 hours up, and it's due to grades like this, bro. It's straight uphill.
Yeah, it's insane.
Relative. Insane. It was nuts, dude. It was I did the equivalent of Mount Kilimanjaro. But I wanted to hit the other one. It was raining and it was cold. It was tough. But I'm buddies with this dude at another IMO, Andy, and he's done it 3 times successfully. He failed his first time, and he's done it 3 times successfully. So him and I did it together, and we're gonna do it again next year. So I'm gonna do that.
I should have said, is it going to be in the water or is it going to be cold? I should have asked if it was cold first.
Yeah, I mean, cold was it. The rain made it worse. If it didn't rain, it wouldn't have been bad. It'd been perfect hiking weather because you want it cool.
Right.
But they have different locations. They have like Sun Valley where it's hot as all get out. They do it at like 6 different spots. And then they have this other thing that I really think I want to sign up just because he did it. And I figure someone else can do it. I can do it. He did. So think of a trail. Think of a marathon, first of all. Right? A marathon, 26 miles. You ever done one?
No.
Okay. Think about doing a marathon. Then they got a trail marathon, which means it's like kind of in the woods. You know what I mean? It's not cement, it's rocks and dirt. Okay. Then what this is like a trail mountain marathon. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds horrible.
But you do 3 in 3 days.
3, dude.
Yeah.
What do you eat? What do you eat the whole time?
So he did it. I didn't do this one. This is the one he did it right after we did the mountain hike. He then did it's called trail, 29029 trail. and it's 3 mountain marathons in 3 days, and he
Dude, I did 7 miles this
successfully
morning.
completed it. And I'm like, I gotta step up my game, dude. So I have the whole year to prep, and now you just said online official you're in to at least the mountain. And dude, old ladies do it. They're just in better shape than you and I.
Yeah, you know, geez, it's funny. So I was in the Army, and I was in good shape. So we had to run 2 miles. That was for our PT test, and to get 100% for the PT test, you had to do 2 miles under 13 minutes. So I do it like 12:50, 12:55. I was lazy, right? So I do just enough to get my 100%. And everything else, right? I would like max my PT out, do everything great. But dude, I sucked at like hiking. I don't know why. Like
the incline, dude, it's different.
I was just so slow. Like I don't know if it's because I was shorter legs. Like I'm just like, dude, how are these people so much faster than me? I'm in way better shape than all these people. But they just
it's a different game.
So it is.
Dude, I'm in good shape. I got out there and I got smoked, bro.
You got big legs, man. You got you seem like a good hiker.
Well, I'm going. My mission for the next 10 and a half months is to get ready for this sucker.
What are you doing for New Year's?
I don't know.
Go to St. Croix. Come to St. Croix, right? So St. Croix's got so it's the most west, right? West Island, right? West part of the US. And they got a place called Point Udall. Hold on, we're gonna have a lot of people here if we talk about this. Hey, it's great. It'll be a party. So that place called Point Udall, right? Point Udall is the most east. The furthest east place in the USA.
Okay.
Right. So I don't drink. I don't think you're a big partier either, right? So what you do is you wake up early and you hike to Point Udall, and you catch the first sunrise before anyone else.
No way.
That's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing. So instead of drinking, we rented an Airbnb house. And it's I've done it before. I lived in St. Croix for a couple months after Hurricane Maria.
No way.
Yeah, it's super cool. So you like, well, and they got hiking. Like, I'm go to. Come with the girl. I got my girl.
Text me the info.
Yeah.
I'll get with Steph.
Come out. That'll be cool. We'll do some hiking. They got like they got a beach. You hike to the beach. There'll be like no one on the beach. Like it's St. Croix is real low key. It's not. They don't have. It's not like any other island. It's not a lot of people there. First thing to do is see if we can rent a car. Well, no, if you're going out, I'll pick you up, bro. It'll be a party.
Send it to me. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to have dinner with. Today's Maddox's birthday. Not while it's playing, but me and you live. And we're going to take him. It's 13 today, so we're going to take him to dinner.
13, teenager. Wow.
Yep. My youngest. I'm. That's it. No more babies.
No more. You're done. You're retired.
No, I mean not 5, dude, and I can't have more.
You have 5 babies. Congratulations.
I have 5 adults now.
5 adults. Wow.
But basically, I mean it's 13, 17, 18, 25, and 30.
30. So, how old are you?
47.
47. Look at that, man. All right. You're a busy guy.
I was a baby having babies.
That's it. That's how you learn. Learn fast, right?
Yeah, mess stuff up and learn, bro.
Fail fast.
That's it. You know, same method as this. It's how we made a bunch of money in insurance.
Exactly. Same.
Make a mess of it, fix it as you go.
That's it. I love it.
Love it. It's been a journey, dude. So I guess let's starting your own thing, but you didn't start out. I mean, sounds like you started making money at the beginning. I don't know what your first year was, but if you made $1 million in 3, you must have been doing decent.
No, it's crazy. So, I started at the bottom. I started, one carrier system
on an expense only, right?
Final expense only on an 80% comp, right? So I didn't have any kind of no hookups. I thought I had a hookup. That was the plan. I thought I had the hookup. I didn't, right? So they started me on an 80% comp. Matter of fact, the person that was hiring me, who I reached out to them. I wasn't even looking to get my insurance license. I was looking for a different business opportunity. And somebody's
what
like,
were you doing before?
Dude, I was repoing cars. No, I had a construction company. Dude, repoing cars was my first commission job. That was my first 100% commission job. I was so scared I was going to be able to make money. And I ended up making more money than I've ever made before at that time, repoing cars. And it was cool. Like a company I worked with, it was 40% commission of what I made the company. Right. So to me, like I'm doing better because I'm driving his tow truck. It's his clients. He's got the insurance. And this guy would just give me piles and piles and piles of cars to find. And it's fun. So like I just drive around with the radio on and just snatch people's cars all day long. I would wake up at like 4 a.m. and get a good start. I would do all the GPS cars, the cars on GPS, because they're easy to find in the dark. So I grab all those early in the morning real fast while everyone's sleeping. And then
what do you get paid to repo a car? If you repo my car, like the guy who repoed my car 15 years ago, what do you get paid?
Yeah. So think about $200 to $500.
No
So
kidding.
that would be the bill from the company.
Got it.
So figure 40% of that.
So you get half of that. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I did well, man. I was doing, I mean, for me, it was great money. And then I started a construction company. So what happened, I was in Louisiana, I think they had a storm in 2016, I think it was in 2016, and over like 200,000 houses got flooded. So now I'm pulling in these neighborhoods looking for cars, and all the houses are gutted, and no one's in these houses. So I'm like, oh, I'm not going to find any cars. I was like, I need to pivot. I need to come up with something. So I decided these houses need to be fixed. I knew nothing about construction, but I sure as heck could find somebody. Right. I didn't even own a hammer at the time. And I parked my tow truck and I started knocking on doors. Like, hey, you need a free estimate? Like, yeah. I was like, all right. So I called my friend who was out of work. I know he used to do estimates for the government. So I'm like, hey, want to start a company together? And then, dude, we did like 100 estimates. And it's like in the summer in Louisiana, like in these houses with mold, no AC, like hot as heck. And we're just winging it, right? Doing estimates. And finally get a phone call. And the guy's like, yeah, man, we want to meet you. I was like, all right. He had 2 houses. One was his and one was his daughter's. It was a 6-figure job to rebuild both these houses. The guy cuts us an $80,000 deposit. Damn. And I was like, we're in business. We could buy a hammer now, right? So bought a truck, and I hired my friend who had a company in New Jersey. Came down with a trailer, like a motorhome, and a whole crew, and rebuilt the houses. And while he was doing that, I was out there doing the same thing, just knocking on doors. Hey, you need an estimate? And that's what I was doing. Then, so I'm in recovery, right? I'm a recovering drug addict. So I had hired a bunch of people that were also recovering drug addicts. But my partner wasn't a recovering drug addict. He was an active drug addict, and he started smoking meth with all my employees and like trying to hide it from me. Like I wasn't going to figure it out. And I was like, okay, the company's paying for everything right now. They're paying my apartment. They're paying my truck. You know, I'm making the best living I've ever made in my life. I was like, but drugs like never, ever lead anywhere good. And I'm like, man, I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to walk. And I walked in and took my name right off the license, just literally. And we invoiced $800,000 in 8 months.
Dang.
And walked away from him. My accountant's like, dude, what are you like? Nothing's wrong with your business. It's him. You got to get rid of him. I was like, I made a mistake. We're 50-50 partners. I have no say over him. And I walked away from a 7-figure business. And that's when I was looking for something else. And I was looking for something so like the repoing, right? I made all the money because they kept giving me all the cars, right? So they're leads. And then the storm flooded all the houses, right? So every house was a lead. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I need a business opportunity that has like excessive leads.
Like that, yeah.
And someone pointed me towards someone working in insurance. And I was like, all right, well, how do you find your people? And they're like, oh, we have TV commercials, direct mail. You know, it was before digital. And I was like, yeah. Okay, so you have plenty of leads. I was like, so if I hire a bunch of people, you have plenty of leads. Like plenty of leads. I was like, and what if I want to move to Florida because I was living in Louisiana? We got leads there too, right? You got leads everywhere. Yes. I was like, okay, I could do this. And I didn't know anything. All right, I didn't know about comp. I didn't know about anything else. It was two things. Do you have leads? And will you show me how to do what you're doing? Those are the only 2 things I was worried about, right? Nothing else. Like, you know, I wasn't in any kind of, Facebook groups, or I wasn't asking people. Like, it was just like, you're successful and you can show me how to be successful and you have the lead so I can learn how to be successful. Like, I'm in. And I started on 80% comp. And I guess, I don't know if it's going to say where I made a mistake, but I didn't make money. So I started in April. My first 10-9 was like 30 grand.
The first year, that year.
Yeah, it was like 30 grand.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's a mix with me hiring people, trying to train people, trying to write business, because it wasn't lack of effort. Like I was putting in my 80 hours a week. It was just, I think I was trying to do too much at once, right? I didn't, instead of focusing on like, okay, let me get really good at selling first real fast. you know, because you end up end up hiring a lot of people that you spend a lot of time training that don't actually go to work, right? And we don't get paid for that, right? That's our volunteer work that we do. And then but then the second year, my first full year was over 200,000, right? So things started picking up. My next year was over 5, my next year was over 7, and then my fourth year was my $1.1 million year. Last year 1.5, and this year I was probably on a pace for 2 million. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of working with one carrier. I'm going to add some more carriers. And when they found out, they stopped my pay, took my whole agency away. So I decided, okay, well, I didn't decide, right? So I was just like, okay, so starting back at zero. And this is, we're 3 weeks in. 3 weeks in, TPG, the IMO. Super excited, but we're writing. We did over, last I checked, we submitted over 205,000 already this month. So it's fun because it's like, all right, cool. It took me, I was doing $1 million a month in final expense. It took me, I think, 4 years to be able to do that. So I'm like, cool, can I do it in a year? Right. That's you know what I mean? That would be super cool. So I think I can. I'm confident. So with people like you coaching me, I can definitely, for sure.
I think you're on your way, bro.
I appreciate it.
You will be fine. So many of you have asked if there's an option for more access, more direct coaching. And so we've created a coaching platform called the Winner Circle, where you have a couple different options. There is a one-on-one option to where we can work directly with you on a regular basis. And then there's a small group setting, 4 to 6 people, really high achievers looking to get to just a new level in their career. We've had a ton of success in this already. First month, actually the first guy that joined deposited $7,500. Worked with them back and forth, one-on-one. The very next month, he deposited over 30 grand. So basically a 5x return on his income in 30 days. So if you're looking for something like that, you can click on the link below, get access to an application, because I'm not taking everybody. I do want to make sure it's a good fit for both of us. And if we feel like you'd be a good fit, we'll set up a one-on-one call directly with me and kind of go through your struggles, what you need help with, and what I expect of people that are joining the coaching program. So if you feel like it'd be a good fit for you and something you want more of, click the link below and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to the Winner Circle. What do you think that, I liked how you put, what'd you call it, our volunteer work?
Our volunteer work, right? Because we don't know better in the beginning.
I wonder if we call it charity. Can we write it off?
Yeah, we should be able to write it off. Yeah, what would you bill hourly to train them? I think it's definitely a write-off, right?
Yeah, what should I bill them hourly to train them? What do you think?
$1,000 an hour, man, right? I mean,
I think I should bill more than that.
It's it. I mean, whatever someone's willing to pay, right?
I can make that right in an app.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, they can make that writing an app, right? So it's like
they can.
They pay you 1 hour. You sit there and you teach them how to write an app, and they literally have to write 1 app to get that money back. 2 apps, they get 2 for 1. Yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer to pay you $1,000. I think everyone should pay you $1,000 right now.
I agree.
Right now.
Send it. Wire it.
That's it. Right now.
I'll spend it if y'all send it.
Put it on the screen. Put it on the screen.
I'll get Amanda to. Where do you think they go wrong, dude? You've trained a lot of agents. Obviously, y'all have had some success. I know some of your crew a little bit. I started to meet just whatever through social and some get on my trainings or whatever. But what do you think the ones that go either way with it? The ones that are doing well, what they do well, or the ones that are doing poorly, what they do poorly? You pick the lane. Yeah.
So there's a couple things. I know one red flag. If I hear it early on, I'm just like, I gotta shake my head, and you still gotta like love them and care them and like meet them in the middle and hope you can get them. But I'm a detailed person, right? You ever hear that before, right?
Bro.
Yeah.
I literally just had a guy DM.
And they say it proud. Like, oh, dude, I'm a detail person. Like, oh, okay.
I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah. Oh,
I need to know everything before I do it. Yeah. I just had a guy tell me, I don't even know who he is, but he DMs me. And if you're watching, God bless you. I love you all. But I try to help, man. When people send me a message, I feel weird not answering. So I answer most of them. And whatever, I give him some advice and he just sends me a message today. Sorry, I've gone MIA. And I'm like, actually, all good because you're not my group. Whatever. I didn't even notice, to be honest. But then I see the message. He had messaged me in like 3 weeks or something. and seems like a nice enough guy. But he goes, yeah, I just decided that calling people's not for me. I'm just not wired to call people. And I saw you interview a guy and talk to a guy that does cold door knocking, so I'm going to go that route. But before I start, I need a system. So I don't feel like I can start. And I've been kind of trying to figure out a system the last few weeks, is why I haven't messaged you, because I can't knock on someone's door till I have a whole system down. And I was like, I can no longer answer you until you go to work. Don't be a bitch. Go knock on doors. You don't need a system. You know what I mean? It's like, again, do we get there? Yes. Do I believe in systems? Yes. But like 3 weeks to create a system, to knock on a door, to go, hey, my name's John. Do you need life insurance? Like, you can do that with no system. You know what I mean? And obviously we can get more detail, but I see so many people, dude, like, to your point, just get stuck in the mud, creating their new CRM, customizing their automations. There's one waiting for her new business cards to come in with
Can't
the
work
new
without business
domain.
cards.
I'm like,
when's the last time you got a business card, John?
dude, I don't have business cards.
I've had business cards for 99% of my career. I think my first year, I got some business cards in the mail, right?
Even
when I had them, I didn't give them out. Like, what the heck? Like, give business card for what? Yeah, it's funny. Right, when I was knocking on doors for flood remodeling, I had no idea what the heck I was doing. All I knew is I ain't gonna be able to find any cars. If I want to eat, I better find another way to get paid. Which is it's funny how I think it's fear, right? The fear just holds people back, so they start coming up with these excuses of why they can't do it, right? Because of fear. I remember, you know what? That's good. I wrestled. You wrestled too, right? Did you wrestle, John?
Mm-mm.
No, you didn't wrestle. I wrestled, and in 7th grade is my first year wrestling. And there's another guy in my weight class on my team, and we had to wrestle off before every single match, and I won 100% of the time, right? And the guy was good; he was good, but I won every single time. And I would ask the coach who was going to go out in the match, and it was like during the match, but I'm going to decide right before, and then right before the match, right, I'd be like, "Hey, coach, I think you should send him out." I was scared. I was literally scared, and every single time he sent me out, and I ended up losing like twice in my 7th grade year, And it's funny how fear just really controls, and we just, so like we have the fear, but we can't say we're scared, right? We can't recognize being scared, so we have to like rationalize it in a way, right? It's like, hey, I need a system, I need this, I need that, I need to understand this. It's like you said, people ask me questions, and I'm like, John, that's a great question. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't know the answer to that question. And I've made millions of dollars not knowing. So I think you'll be okay not knowing the answer to that question. So let's get to work, right? What do you say? Do more now, get better later, right?
That's it, bro.
Do more now. I love that. I love that title because I understand it so well, right? If everyone just do more now, get better later.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing half the freaking time. And you don't have to. Like, you literally don't have to. Mm-mm. My first sale that I made selling insurance. So I was door knocking. And I had leads that are 2 to 5 years old because I was, brand new. There's no person in the area in Louisiana. They had no leads. You do direct mail. You got to wait for it to come back. So they give me these leads. They're 2 to 5 years old. I'm looking at this sheet. I'm looking at the date that these people called in. They're old TV leads. I was like, oh, yeah, 2 to 5 years old. No problem. Okay, great. So I'm knocking on these doors, getting beat up, and I get to this one, and like literally this lead's 5 years old. I'm like, okay. Here we go. 5 years old. I knock on the door. I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name's David. I'm with the senior care plan. I see you requested some information at some point, and it looks like we haven't got you the information yet. I didn't tell it was 5 years ago, right? But we haven't got it to you yet. I'm here to go over with you. May I come in? She's like, what? I was like, David from the senior care plan. She's like, who? I was like, Senior Life Insurance Company? She's like, oh, come on in. I was like, so weird. I'm in there, and we do the presentation. We have an iPad. I'm doing it on the app, and I'm stuttering, and I know I get real red in the face. I'm real nervous, and she could see the 3 prices as I'm talking to her. She just takes her finger and touches the most expensive one, just like that. I'm like, okay, go grab your checkbook. And that was my first sale. Like, I couldn't say the wrong thing to her. It was almost like she was waiting for me for 5 years. That's what it felt like. It felt like she was waiting for me for 5 years, and it didn't matter. Like. But I was about to quit before that. I'm like, dude, this isn't for me. Like, none of these people want to talk to me. These leads are 2 to 5 years old. These people are angry, and then you knock on that one door. And that's the beautiful thing. It's like, I think at that time, for that with my commission, it was like a $500 commission maybe. But it's like, how many people can make $500 in a day?
Yeah.
Right.
I agree, dude.
Right. So it's like, okay, cool. Like all that led up to that was just the process to get to that one sale. You know, it's just like I think about you ever watch those gold miner shows?
Dude, I literally just talked about that on the last podcast we recorded. Yes.
Really? I'm sorry. I don't want
to swear to God. No, do it. No, go.
No, I talk about it all the time. It's like, dude, all they're doing is moving dirt. That's it. They're just moving dirt.
100%.
That's it. You just got to move dirt all day. Just move dirt all day. And then they find like a little piece of gold and they're like, wow, it's all worth it. Right. And
dude,
it's like,
and then when you find a piece, they find like flakes.
Yeah.
It's
and they're
like
excited.
Dust.
And they're excited. Like, imagine doing that. Imagine doing that for a living. But that's it. You just gotta move dirt. And you'll find something. You'll find something.
That's true. Now, what I hear, I like it. And what some people hear is, don't get better. You don't need to know anything. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm not. No. And David's one of the best at asking questions and reaching out. Like you do call me a fair amount, and it's like, and I'm the same way, dude. I'll
ego,
call,
bro. Right? No ego.
I'll call someone in a second and ask a question. I don't care at all. So I think some people misunderstand what we're saying. And I'm like, you should get better. You should study stuff. But why not study and work? Why can't you do both? Why do you have to do one? Because when are you actually ready when you don't, how long do you study before you go I'm ready? You know what I mean? It's like, you're always going to be nervous or have that fear before the first one or second one or third one. That doesn't go away, And my thing to people is some of y'all that have watched this stuff been getting ready to get ready or kind of going at it the way you have been for X amount of time. And you're not satisfied with where you're at. And it's so is that way really working for you in life? If you're killing it, great. But if you're broke as shit, you've got to one day realize the way you're doing it ain't working. Can you try it a different way? Just try it this way. You can go nothing. You can know nothing about our business, and you go knock on 100 doors a day, and you do it all month. You'll sell some damn insurance, and you don't got to know nothing about nothing. Yeah. And you don't have to have a card, and you don't have to have a suit and tie, and you don't even have to have a fancy presentation. You'd be like, hey, you need insurance? Again, I'm not saying you run your career that way, but the mentality of I have to know everything before I start. It's imagine Maddox is 13 today. Imagine he had to know everything about baseball before he went and started playing baseball. What?
Or walking.
Yeah,
walking, right?
Too.
Who the heck studied walking? We just didn't care back then, right? Or else no one would walk. We would all be like, I tried that walking thing. It wasn't really for me. I could. My mentor didn't give me a lot of, my mentor just didn't do what I needed to be able to walk. You know what I learned?
David didn't support me.
Yeah, David didn't support me.
Asshole.
Exactly. That's it. God. David didn't support me. That's why I don't walk. So I started as a field agent, and I only taught people to be field agents. Back 2018, 2019. Yeah. And I had an agent hired in Louisiana. Her name is Jen. She's amazing. I think you know who she is. But she ended up being the #1 agent in the country her first year. Just got her license her first year. So she got hired in December of 2018. She issued, I think $450,000 in 2019, her first year with no practice, right? Yeah. So I had her in Louisiana. I'm hiring in Louisiana. I'm living in Florida now. And so what I'm doing is I'm putting people in her car, right? And why not get trained by the girl that issues $40,000 a month consistently, right? Yeah. But what I noticed is if you take somebody, you put them in that car with zero experience, they have no idea what they're watching. Correct. Right. And then they go by themselves and they fall on their face. But if you send them by themselves first, they gain 100%. A little bit of experience. Then you put them in the car. 100%. Now they know what they're watching. Right. Yeah. So the same thing. It's yes, get some experience, study. Get some experience, study. You don't even know what to study. Just BMX, bicycles. I remember buying a bicycle and so excited about it because it's what I thought I wanted for the magazines. And then you get some experience. Dude, that's not what I want. Right. Snowboarding, all these different things. Right. True. Hiking gear, you want this stuff because it's the most expensive, and you find out this other stuff's just better, but you need the experience to know that. But what really proved everything to me is COVID, right? So COVID happened, and I had I had two try telesales agents before that, and they would submit average $3,000 a week on a good week, right? And so I had no real model of someone being successful in telesales. Yeah. And COVID happened. This was before the lockdowns, and we're door knockers, right? So we didn't set appointments at all, right? I know you set appointments. That's a big thing that you do, but we didn't. We just showed up to their house with the lead, the direct mail lead. And I'm like watching the news, and I never would have dreamed that everything that happened would have happened. And I'm watching the news, and I was like, dude, these people aren't going to let us in their house. Like, there's no way. And someone came to me, it's like, hey, we're going to start setting appointments. I was like, no, like, we're set up to sell on the phone. Because we work with the one carrier. We already had a telesales system. We already had a voice signature. So we didn't need them, right? So I was like, no, if we're on the phone, we're selling. So I called all my agents. I was like, listen, this is the deal. This is what we're doing. For now on, I used to tell them, you're never allowed to pick up the phone, just show up. I was like, for now on, this is what's going to happen. You're going to take every single lead you have. And these are direct mail leads, right? A lot with no phone numbers, right? And I was like, make a big pile. All I want you to do is call that first lead, flip it over. Call the next one, flip it over. There wasn't even like entertaining. What do I say? I don't know telesales. Telesales are different. Call the lead, flip. Call the lead, flip, because I knew as long as I could get them on the phone, they would know what to say. We had our best month. This was like April. This was when like everyone else was like shut down. Yeah, I think it was April, like the very first month of COVID, and we had our best month 100% on the phone. Jen, who did 450,000 of issue business in the field, broke a record on the phone that very first month. Like, and that's what proved. Like, it's just like, dude, figure out how to get somebody to work, and everything else will fall in line.
It's true. It's true. I love it. Keep it simple. I was going to ask you, I got a guy I'm working with now, and they're trying to figure out how to go from field sales to phone sales. And I'm going to just send them that clip. I'm like, stop thinking, just go. Flip, call lead, flip it.
Is it call? You know what to say? There's nothing different. Get them on the phone. The only difference is you got to dial the phone 200 times plus
more
versus knocking on 20 doors a day or something. That's it. Like, you know, that's the first thing. So if it's like, I'm not making any sales, no problem. How many times did you dial the phone yesterday? And I hear your appointment numbers, right? Because appointment, it's a way shorter conversation, right? You're not spending 45 minutes on the phone with them.
Yeah.
Appointment. So I think, what do you teach? You teach like 500 or something like that? How many?
No, dude, mine is like, again, if you're making money, I don't care if you make 4 dials.
Exactly.
But my thing is, if you're broke as shit,
yes,
you have time to make $500 if you're not presenting all day. Does it make sense? So I'd rather you make $500 versus sit on your couch and complain. But I can give you a skill set to where you don't have to dial near that many times. What frustrates me is agents that are broke and don't work. It drives me bananas. And I'm like, why don't you just, if you just made 500 phone calls today, which you can do, it's not impossible. Whether you're booking appointments or doing one call. Again, now you get 15 people to pick up and let you present to them and you write 3 apps. Dude, be done at lunch. I don't care.
Yeah. Well,
so mine is as opposed to doing nothing. Yeah. So
no, I agree. Like, when someone asks me, hey, David, I can't get anyone to pick up the phone. Okay, no problem. I understand. So let me ask you a question. How many times did you dial the phone yesterday? The answer is anywhere between 30 and 60. The answer is never over 200.
No, correct.
Right? Because if they did over 200, they wouldn't be complaining that no one's
Someone would have picked up.
They're picking up. So it's always, so I'm like, so 30 to 60 and no one picked up. Okay. So it took you 30 minutes to an hour to do that? Okay. So you worked an hour yesterday and you're upset about the results you didn't get. Is that correct? They're like, oh, wow. Well, since you put it that way, okay, no problem. Work on dial the phone 200 times today and tell me what happens. Right? Yeah. Real simple.
Yeah, I agree. What's funny is when I challenge people to do it, almost no one really has to hit that number, especially consistently, to get the number of appointments and presentations they need to be successful. But I do like to challenge people, dude. And I've had to do it. There are days where I just had a bad day on the phone and things weren't clicking and timing. It just was an off day. And I've made 400, 500, 600 phone calls in a day. It's not my favorite thing on earth to do. But again, it beat going back to the job I didn't want to go to. And again, what was the alternative? Now again, you don't want to dial, go knock on doors. We got a guy that knocks on 100 a day, cold with no leads.
Yeah. It works.
It's like you can prospect. You can go to freaking networking meetings. You can go to local businesses. There's a million ways to do it. But no matter what, you're going to have to prospect a lot in our business until you get some crazy referral base, or you recruit agents and you build a team and you have an agent. There's no way to get out of the work. And again, if you're the unicorn that's doing very little work and making a bunch of money, I'll give you a high five. I'm just not going to train on your shit because most of us can't do that. So what up, y'all? Officially releasing my book. You can go on and order it now at johnwetmore.com or click the link below. It's where I go over the 6 basic principles I implemented to go from a struggling agent for my first couple years to issuing nearly $500,000 of my own pen. Go through stories and examples and exercises that you can do to implement for yourself. Appreciate it. Again, johnwetmore.com. Get yours. Later. What can you give them as far as team building, bro? You built quite the team. Most people would kill to be doing $1 million a month,
Yeah, it was fun. It was so
I know you're resetting, but still, again, 200. 99% of the planet ain't doing 200 grand a month.
Yeah, it's a good point. So there's a couple things, and I learned a lot, right? I'm learning a lot, and the most valuable thing is going to be your reputation, right? A lot of times people are going to pick money over doing the right thing, right? They're going to take money over the principles. And when you do that, your reputation's tarnished. So like you have to learn how to build trust with people, right? Like that's it. Like you have to learn how to build trust with people. And that's a long-term thing. So I think that's the one thing, because if you build trust with people, then they'll be coachable, or better chance of them being coachable. If they're coachable, chances are you could show them how to be successful. True. And then you just duplicate that. So I spend a lot of time. I always make a saying that, their pockets before mine, right? Your pockets before mine, your bank account before mine. Like if I make a decision, it's like, it's not, how to make Dave rich, is how do I make the agent rich will, eventually definitely helps me out. So I think that's super important. And I think that's a big thing people miss in this industry. I think a lot of times people think short term and they want that quick, easy money. Yeah. And what they do is they're just burning through people, right? They're just burning through people because, the people aren't stupid. So like I could sit there and like tell you something now and like get you to believe it for a second, right? But like you're a human being and you're not going to stop thinking about that now. You continue to think about that, and maybe you get some more facts, and then eventually you're like, wait a second, David's full of crap. He's a complete liar, and then that's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I lose you, right? Either you're not coachable anymore, or you don't want to work with me anymore. So I think it's just really important. And I'm always honest, right? So like I remember I was trying to recruit this guy. He's like, hey, how much money did you make last year? And I don't remember the exact number. I think it was like $720,000, right? And I told him, I was like, $720,000. He's like, okay, cool. You got your 1099. Can I see it? And like, we're on a Zoom, like right there. And I was like, well, actually do it. It's right here. And I showed him to him, and it was actually more than what I told him. Where someone would have, 720, that in insurance world, that's 800. That might be $1 million, right? And he said that was the test, right? There was the test to see if everything I told him previously was full of crap. He said, because no one would have done that. Like they would have rounded up. They've said, oh, I made 750, not 720, right? Or 719 or whatever. I actually rounded down, right? And when you learn how to build trust with people, then the rest of the stuff's easy, right? Because nothing else is different, right? The carriers are the same, the leads are the same, everything's the same. What's different is the relationship you're able to build with somebody and them trusting you. And then also too, like, I mean, I've been doing this since 2018, and I don't really hear anyone talk bad about me, right? That's one thing I hear all the time. People talk, people come to me, but man, I heard nothing but great stuff about you. Yeah, I mean, I just had some guy recently in the in the Facebook group, in the syndicate Facebook group, trying to. He was saying it was crazy because the way he was talking, I think he thinks I was an employee at an insurance carrier, because he was like acting like I was making money off leads that were being sold, and I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, you're a senior partner. I was like, that's a title based off production, like that doesn't make me. No, yeah, it's funny because he like went out of his way to just start posting about, and then he said something about my program. I'm like, I don't really sell coaching. I mean, I've sold a few hours here and there. I don't really sell coaching. So it's funny. But besides that, I think he's the only person that I catch talking bad about me, but he's obviously a little delusional. So but that's good.
Facebook groups, dude. I know you have one and we're going to talk about it. I'm only in Joe's and yours. Every other one so far I have left because as soon as it turns into, the shit show, I'm out. I can't, my brain doesn't have the capacity to consume all that negativity.
Dude,
so I don't
insane. Well, the ones that are writing, they have no time. Like you know, right? I mean, you have a huge organization. Like the people running a lot of business, they're not in Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Like there's no. It's like, hold on a second. Let me make $1,000 real fast this hour, or let me sit there and fight with John about what carrier is the best for somebody with COPD. Yeah. Right. I'm gonna pick the money. I'm going with the money. Yeah. Sorry, John. But yeah, Facebook groups are definitely funny.
I've had a lot of people tell me I should run one, to have one, to create it, and I'm like, it's a whole nother job. I'm not wired to run a Facebook group, dude. So I'll be in yours until, if you see me leave, just know it's because it turned into too much stuff.
I know we still love each other, man. I don't. But I took so personal.
You'll keep it under control. Share it. How do they get into it?
Yeah, so we started a group, right? So one thing one thing I realized is that, and again, right, I just basically walked away from $2 million a year, because I realized that building something is more fun than the actual money, right? And I'm sure you feel the same way. And I was just trying to think, like, all right, cool. Can I build people? How can I coach more agents? How could I, give out more value? How can I do more things and the stuff that I like, right? Because money wise, I'm doing okay. So I'm not really worried about money now. Trust me, when I was broke, I was worried about money. So don't think that I don't think it's important. It's just now that you have it, it's like you could realize like the joy came in the building. The joy didn't come from the money, right? So start a Facebook group. We are insurance agents. You can search us, find that pretty easily. And we're gonna mod it real good. I don't want any kind of recruiting in it or any of that stuff that that you talk about that comes in. No negativity or fighting. We're gonna do our best to mod that. I got a team working with me to help with that. And we're gonna do every Thursday, not this Halloween, but every Thursday we're gonna do a training at 7 p.m. And John, I'd love to have you as a guest to do a training. I love I love you on stage, man. When you start pulling out the paper, man, you start pulling out the pen, like you definitely you give a lot of really good, like real actionable items, right? Not like, hocus pocus, right? So real stuff like that. So I love to have
I've actually done the business. Not that but some people that have not actually done stuff.
Yes. I'm excited about that, man. So yeah, man, join in. We are insurance agents. Feel free to invite anyone, man. We have a bunch of studs, man. We have John Wetmore, man. We have John Wetmore do a training. So I'm super excited.
Hello yesterday in there too.
I know. I got a message about it, man. Like John Wetmore is in the group saying hello, man.
I love it. I'm just one of y'all, dude. I saw We Are Insurance Agents. I'm like, hey, I'm one of those. Let me get in there,
dude. I want to make it like a movement, man. I want to do like We Are Insurance Agents, like activities, hike, right? Maybe we could do a We Are Insurance Agents hike. You know what I mean? Like I want, again, like. I love money. We all love money, right? But when you're doing things together as a community, dude, it's a lot of fun, right? Just again, like for my birthday, I was like, listen, guys, I'm going to Dominican Republic. I'm staying at this hotel. I'll be here these dates. Feel free to come if you want. And I publicly said that to all my agents, right? And I like doing things together. I like building community. I like talking. I like helping people. So. I just want to make it like a movement, man. We are insurance agents. Bought the domain. I got the domain, man. So we're gonna do something with it.
I love it.
I like hiking. I like adventure. Dude, you ever go whitewater rafting?
No, it scares me a little bit, to be honest.
Good, perfect. We gotta do that, dude. Let's go to Costa Rica, go whitewater rafting.
You just said you don't like swimming. What happens if you tip over? Don't you have to swim?
It's a little different. So it's a shorter swim. It's a swim to the boat versus like. I didn't know if you were going to try to get me to do like an Ironman or something like that. I'm like, dude, those things are rough. I
would love to do one. I'm afraid of the swim. I'm afraid I'll drown, dude. I'm not a great swimmer. I can swim like in my swimming pool, but I'm not swimming across a lake. I'm not that guy.
No, me neither. Not, especially not after a run and a bike or vice versa. Or how I don't even know how it works, man. You get a little tattoo though if you do it well or something. Though.
Yeah. Well, I like the challenges, dude. I've been doing the CrossFit thing for a little while. You do something similar. I don't know if it's officially CrossFit, but
yeah. I mean, a lot of them got after they had some issues or whatever. A lot of them got dropped the CrossFit
change the name.
But
yeah, same thing. I love it, dude.
Dude, it's so much. I wish they had CrossFit like when I was in high school, man.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
A lot of fun. It's a cool challenge. I stayed away from it for a little while. I did it when I was like 30 for a few years. And then when I got into insurance, I stopped because just timing, whatever.
Yes.
And then I was afraid to get back into. I'm like, dude, I'm getting old. I'm 40. I'll be 48 in March. And I'm like, I just don't know, dude. That weight and the Olympic stuff and them cleans. I'm like, I just don't know. And I went with a buddy. I was doing like Orange Theory because it was like intense, but it's like no weight.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to the gym and lift no weight, but not be intense. I'd lift weight, but not be intense. And I had a buddy that invited me out on Memorial Day to do that Murph workout. I went to his gym and did it, and I finished, but I got smoked, dude. I was like, and he crushed it. I was like, oh my gosh, I am so not in the shape I thought I was in. Because physically I look, you know what I mean? But you start doing intense workouts, and I was like, this ain't Orange Theory, bro. Like, this is a different. So as a challenge, I started doing it in like June. And I go most days now, most mornings I go at this point, trying to step up the game, dude. I'm glad I went back. I like the challenge of it.
You did Murph with the vest?
Yeah. Yep.
You're a beast, bro.
Yep. I had to do the jumping pull-ups because I can't do I can barely do pull-ups like without, but I did the kind of jump and pull I mean, it's kind of a cheat, but I did the push-ups and the run.
The vest on though,
but it took me
workout.
My buddy did it in 40 minutes. It took me an hour and 15.
That's insane.
But I finished. I'm like, I'll finish. I mean, I may not go quick, but I'll do it. So, but yeah, dude. Well, I appreciate you getting on and sharing, dude. If they want to follow you on social, you're not hard to find. I mean, obviously the Facebook group, but you're all over everything.
Yeah, my Instagram's David Price Official. Most socials, David Price Official. If you Google David Price Insurance, I'm competing with a pitcher, man, so it's hard to beat this guy. He's got a lot of news articles about him. But if you Google David Price Insurance, you can find me pretty much everywhere. And then I'm starting up my podcast again too. So hopefully you grace me with your presence. Love to get you on. And we could do this all over again. This time I'll ask the questions.
Yeah, so. Text me right after. We'll schedule that in the Facebook group.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, brother.
We'll get them in, dude.
I love watching you win, man.
Let's go. We're gonna win together.
That's it. Let's do it. There's so much, dude. So much. I was at network marketing. I worked with network marketing, and he drew a big giant circle on like the the whiteboard, the easel white paper thing, and he put a little marker dot on it, and he's like, "This is our industry, and this is all you need to be ultra successful." And like that's us. Like that's what people don't understand. Like everyone thinks we're like fighting over the same people. Like, no, dude, go get your own dot. I got a dot. I could give you a dot. You know what I mean? I'll teach you how to get your own dot. Like there's so much. And that's what's cool, man. So that's it. I appreciate it, brother.
You got it. Thanks for coming on, bro. Be in touch. Appreciate y'all watching. Like it, subscribe it, share it, do all that jazz.
Yeah, follow this guy, man. $200 million.
It's hard to do it looking in a thing backwards at myself.
It's so weird, right?
I went that way.
I know it's backwards.
Go get you some wetmoremerch.com.
I like
if you want some
merch. I love it.
My team made it, dude. I made the whole site. They're cool. They got some stuff happening.
Yeah, I gotta talk to you, man. Sounds like your team's doing a lot of stuff.
They make me look way better than I am. I'm good at talking. The rest of it they do, bro. I got a good squad.
That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to be, though. I feel like that. Dan Martell, man. I've kind of been watching him a lot, dude. Like,
I follow his stuff.
Yeah, I think about. I just want to coach him and like see like he must have like a massive, amazing team.
Yeah.
So he's always hiking too. I love it.
He's a beast. Keep at it. All right, dude. I'll send you the stuff. Hit me up after.
Later, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
All right, later. Bye.